women around the world make to society. Sometimes those contributions come from unexpected sources, like a 9-year-old girl who wrote a letter to NBA superstar Steph Curry.
What did you want to happen?
I just wanted it to change because I didn't think it was fair.
Did you expect to hear from him?
No, I didn't expect it.
Steph Curry had been running on empty after a busy day filled with meetings, practice, and press conferences. He needed a break, something to cool him off and give him a moment of peace. As he drove through Oakland on a Tuesday afternoon, he spotted something that caught his attention. A humble lemonade stand sat at the corner of a quiet residential street, shaded by a few scraggly trees. A simple handwritten sign danced in the breeze. Lemonade $1. The stand didn't scream for attention. There were no flashy signs or intricate decorations. It was just a small table with a pitcher of lemonade and a young girl standing behind it, no older than 12, with a bright and hopeful smile on her face. To Steph, it looked like the perfect chance to refresh himself, so he parked his SUV and walked over without a second thought. He greeted the girl with a warm, friendly smile. "Hey there, how much for a lemonade?" The girl looked up at him, her eyes widening for a split second. She didn't recognize him. After all, she was just a kid, hoping to make a few extra dollars during the summer break. $1, she said, still a little uncertain about the tall man who had just walked up. Steph smiled back and handed her a dollar bill. "I'll take one, thanks." She poured the lemonade into a plastic cup, her hands a little shaky as she passed it to him. "Here you go," she said softly. Steph took the cup, took a sip, and immediately grinned. "Wow, this is really good," he said, genuinely impressed. The girl blinked in surprise, unsure of why he was so enthusiastic. "I just bought lemons, added some sugar. It's just lemonade, really." Steph chuckled, taking another sip. "No, seriously, this is really good. What's your secret?" The girl's face flushed with a bit of pride. "My grandmother taught me. She used to make lemonade for us when we were little. She always used fresh lemons and just a little sugar, not too much. Sometimes she'd add mint or ginger for a twist." Steph raised an eyebrow, clearly impressed. "Sounds like your grandmother knows what she's doing. You've definitely learned from the best." The girl smiled, a little shy but beaming with pride. "Yeah, she's amazing." Steph took another long gulp of lemonade, letting the refreshing coolness ease him after a long day. "I've got to say, you've got a real talent for making this. You should be proud." "Thanks," she said, still a little stunned by his praise. "I'm Alexis, by the way." "Nice to meet you, Alexis. I'm Steph." Steph noticed Alexis's voice tremble a little when she spoke. "Everyone knows who you are," she said, breathless with surprise. Steph smiled, his eyes softening, and he winked at her. "Well, not everyone, apparently," he teased. They both chuckled for a moment, sharing a light-hearted laugh, but then Steph's tone shifted, becoming more serious. "So, Alexis," he began, his voice gentle, "what's your dream? What do you want to do when you grow up?" Alexis paused, her eyes dropping to the table. She had a lot of dreams, but some of them felt so far out of reach. Could someone like her, someone from a family struggling to make ends meet, really hope to achieve them? With a deep breath, she spoke, her voice barely above a whisper. "I want to be a basketball player," she admitted. "Like you. I watch you on TV and I practice every day in my neighborhood. But my parents can't afford to send me to camps or buy the equipment I need. I don't even have a real basketball. Just an old one from the thrift store." Steph's heart tightened. He understood the feeling of dreaming big, but also the harsh reality of how hard it could be when resources were limited. He placed a hand on the table, looking at her with kindness. "That's a great dream, Alexis," he said softly, his voice full of encouragement. "Don't let anything stop you. Keep practicing, keep working hard. And sometimes life has a way of surprising you." Alexis shifted uncomfortably, her fingers tracing circles on the edge of the table. "I don't know. It's hard. I see my friends going to camps, getting new shoes, and I feel like I'm stuck." Steph thought for a moment before a spark of inspiration lit up his eyes. He leaned forward slightly. "You know what? I've got an idea. I'm going to come back tomorrow. and we'll figure out how to get you closer to your dreams. How does that sound? Alexis blinked, unsure if she'd heard him correctly. You mean, you'll really come back? She asked, her voice full of disbelief. Yeah, he said with a wink, smiling warmly. Really. I'm going to bring something to help, and who knows, maybe I'll even stick around and sell some lemonade with you. We'll make it a thing. The excitement on Alexis's face was instant, her eyes wide with disbelief and joy. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Steph chuckled and gave her a friendly pat on the shoulder. I'll see you tomorrow, Alexis. With that, he turned and walked back down the street, feeling lighter in his heart. He knew that he was about to do something that could make a real difference in this young girl's life. The next day, the sun was out again, but today, there was an extra spark in the air. Alexis had set up her lemonade stand, just like she always did, but today felt different. She kept looking down the street, her eyes hopeful. Would Steph actually show up? Little did she know, this day was about to change everything. And then, just like that, he did. Not only was he walking down the street with his usual confident stride, but he was carrying something in his hands, a large bag and a couple of basketballs. As he reached her stand, Alexis couldn't hold back her excitement. You came! You really came! She exclaimed, her voice filled with awe. Steph smiled, his heart warmed by her joy. Of course I did, he said, giving her a grin, and I didn't come empty-handed. Steph set the bag down on the table and opened it, revealing a brand new basketball, a couple of practice cones, and even a Warriors t-shirt, signed by him. Here you go, he said, his grin wide. This is for you to keep. I also brought some other gear to help you with your training. Alexis couldn't believe her eyes. Her jaw dropped in shock. Is this really for me? She asked, almost in disbelief. Yep, Steph said, his smile growing. I want to see you make it. Keep practicing and don't let anything stop you. But that wasn't all. As if on cue, a few more people arrived, accompanied by a construction crew. They quickly got to work on transforming the lemonade stand. They painted it, added a menu board, and set up a proper awning to keep her shaded from the sun. Your lemonade stand is getting a makeover, Steph laughed. Now you can sell more and make a little extra cash. As the crew worked, Steph turned to Alexis's parents, who had come outside to see what was going on. Hi, I'm Steph Curry, he said, shaking their hands. I just wanted to say I'm really impressed with Alexis, and I want to help her out. So I've arranged something for her future. He handed Alexis's mom a check. This is for her education, all the way through college. She's got a bright future ahead, and I want to make sure she has every opportunity to succeed. Tears welled up in Alexis's mom's eyes as she took the check. Thank you so much, she said, her voice choked with emotion. Steph smiled, but he wasn't done yet. He leaned in a little closer to Alexis. By the way, he said, I've got tickets to one of my games next month. I'd love for you to come and watch. Maybe you'll be inspired even more to follow your dream. Alexis could barely process what was happening. I can't believe this is real, she stammered. It's real, Steph assured her, his tone sincere. I believe in you. Now let's sell some lemonade. For the next hour, Steph stood beside Alexis, helping her serve lemonade and chat with customers. People were amazed to see a professional basketball player helping out at a lemonade stand. It felt surreal, but also incredibly inspiring. As customers came and went, Steph didn't act like a celebrity. He spoke with everyone, asked how their day was going, and even made jokes with the kids who stopped by. One of the regulars, an older man who had seen Alexis's stand many times, approached and asked, So, what's this all about? What's the famous guy doing here? Alexis laughed nervously, glancing at Steph. He gave her an encouraging nod. Well, he's helping me, she said, smiling shyly. We're trying to make this stand better and, he's helping with my dream of being a basketball player. The man chuckled. Well, I'll tell you what, kid. You've got a star behind you now. Keep at it and who knows? Maybe I'll see you on the court someday. Steph grinned. That's right. Keep your head up, Alexis. You never know where life might take you. Steph's words were just the beginning of something bigger. What happened next would change Alexis's life forever. By the time the afternoon sun began to dip below the horizon, Alexis could hardly believe what had just unfolded. She had spent her whole life working hard to make ends meet, dreaming of becoming a basketball player. And now a professional basketball player was helping her chase that dream. Not only had he bought lemonade from her, but he'd transformed her lemonade stand into a thriving business and even made sure her future was secured with a check for her education. Steph had stayed with her the whole time, answering questions from curious customers, chatting with her family, and working alongside her to sell lemonade. He wasn't the high-profile celebrity people expected him to be. He was just a man helping a young girl with a dream. It wasn't lost on Alexis how much he truly cared. Here was a man who had every reason to stay far removed from the struggles of everyday people, yet he chose to give back in the most personal way possible. "I can't believe this is happening," Alexis said, wiping a little sweat from her forehead as they wrapped up for the evening. "Yesterday, I was just trying to make a few bucks for the summer, and now this." Steph smiled, leaning against the counter of her newly upgraded lemonade stand. The workers were finishing up their final touches, painting the stand with vibrant colors, adding a chalkboard menu, and setting up a little seating area for customers to relax in the shade. The transformation was incredible. What once was a small, humble stand was now a proper little business. Alexis couldn't stop glancing at the fresh paint, the new sign, and the bustling crowd that had gathered. "Well, I told you life has a way of surprising you," he said. "But it's all you, Alexis. You've got the talent and the drive. I'm just here to give you a little boost." Alexis laughed, the weight of the moment settling in. She couldn't stop grinning. "I'm still in shock. I never thought someone like you would take time out of your day to help someone like me. I mean, I know you're busy." "I've got time," he said with a shrug. "I always try to make time for things that matter. And your lemonade's pretty special. Plus, I've always said the best way to help someone isn't just giving them money or stuff, it's helping them unlock their potential, give them a chance to shine, and you've got it, Alexis." Her heart swelled. "Thank you. Really, I'll never forget this." "Well, don't forget it too soon," Steph said with a wink. "We're not done yet. You've got bigger dreams than just lemonade stands and basketball camps, right?" Alexis nodded eagerly. "Yeah, I've got bigger dreams than that. I want to play in the WNBA, just like you, or even bigger. But it's so hard when you don't have the right gear, the right support, the right people around you." And just when Alexis thought it couldn't get any better, Steph dropped a bombshell that would change everything. Steph's expression softened. "That's what I'm here for. I'm here to be part of that support team. You might not know this, but I didn't make it to where I am just by shooting hoops alone. I had people who believed in me, who pushed me, who gave me the tools to get better. And now it's your turn. Take what you've got and run with it." Her smile was a mixture of awe and gratitude. She felt like she had just been handed the keys to a new world, a world she had only ever dreamed of stepping into. As the last of the customers filed out, Steph waved goodbye to her family and gave Alexis a final high five. "I'll see you soon, Alexis. Keep practicing, keep pushing, and never stop believing in yourself. And remember, one day I want to see you out there on the court. Maybe we'll even face off. Wouldn't that be something?" "Yeah, that would be amazing," Alexis laughed, shaking her head in disbelief. "Thank you so much, Steph." Alexis watched as Steph made his way to his car, the excitement building in her chest. This was more than a day at the lemonade stand. It was the beginning of a new chapter. She couldn't wait to see where this journey would take her, because now she knew that anything was possible. As she stood there, taking in the sight of her newly renovated stand, she felt a sense of pride she had never felt before. For the first time in her life, she felt like her dreams were within reach. "I won't let you down with that," Steph said as he climbed into his car, waving goodbye as he drove off into the sunset. Alexis stood there for a moment, taking in the scene. Her new lemonade stand, the basketball equipment, her signed Warriors t-shirt, and the check that would guarantee her future education. But more than that, she felt something inside her shift, a new sense of possibility. It wasn't just about the material gifts. It was the belief that someone saw potential in her, someone who had already achieved the highest level of success. Steph's actions weren't just a boost to her business, they were a catalyst for a future she once thought was out of reach. She felt like her dreams were within grasp, more tangible than ever before. Over the next few weeks, Alexis threw herself into her newfound purpose with a sense of determination and pride. The lemonade stand had evolved into more than just a seasonal venture. It was now a small business that she ran with care and passion. Word of Steph Curry's surprise visit had spread quickly, and the stand became a local attraction. What began as a humble summer project was now a community hub. People came to buy lemonade, sure, but they also came to meet the young girl who had been inspired by a basketball legend. Alexis wasn't just selling a product. She was building connections with people, and they in turn invested in her journey. The community rallied behind her in ways Alexis hadn't expected. Customers not only supported her financially, but they also offered encouraging words, tips for running a business, and even donations of basketball equipment, items Alexis had once only dreamed of owning. The lemonade stand had become a symbol of something much larger: resilience, hope, and the power of community support. It wasn't just about turning a profit. It was about watching a dream unfold before their eyes, one cup of lemonade at a time. A month later, on a Saturday afternoon, Alexis was again behind the counter when a car she recognized pulled up. This time, it wasn't just Steph. His wife, Aisha, and their 2 kids were with him. Alexis couldn't believe her eyes. She was in awe, standing in front of the very people who had been instrumental in turning her life upside down. "We came to check in on you," Steph said, flashing his signature grin. "How's business? How's the lemonade? And most importantly, how's the basketball going?" Alexis was bursting with excitement. "Business is better than ever. I'm even playing in a local league now. I've got my own ball, new shoes, everything's different, Steph. It's all thanks to you." Aisha gave her a warm hug. "We're so proud of you, Alexis. You've worked so hard, and it's paying off." Alexis's voice shook with gratitude. "I can't thank you enough. You've changed my life. I don't think I could have done it without you." Just before leaving, Steph looked at her with his kind, steady gaze. "Remember, you've got big dreams, and I'll be here to support you along the way. Keep pushing, keep practicing, and don't forget, I'm saving you a VIP seat at my game next month. You've got a future ahead of you, Alexis." As the family drove off, Alexis stood there watching them leave, feeling an overwhelming sense of purpose. For the first time in her life, she wasn't just imagining a future where she played basketball professionally. She was living it. Each step she took now felt like it was moving her closer to her dream, and the lemonade stand was just the beginning. It wasn't just a business anymore. It had become a beacon of hope for Alexis and the people who supported her. It represented everything she could achieve with hard work, perseverance, and the right people by her side. Her community had rallied around her, not just as a young entrepreneur, but as a symbol of what could happen when you believe in someone, especially when they're willing to put in the work. With the backing of her family, her community, and Steph Curry himself, Alexis knew that she was destined for greatness. She knew her future was no longer something she dreamed about in the quiet of the night. It was unfolding right before her eyes, and she was determined to make it happen. The lemonade stand had become more than a way to make extra money. It was the foundation of a dream that was now within her reach, a dream that with every passing day seemed more real and achievable than ever before. Bella's lemonade stand is a beautiful example of how a simple idea can grow into something much more meaningful. What started as a way to help support her family quickly transformed into a platform for spreading kindness and building connections within her community. It's amazing how Bella, with the right support, turned a lemonade stand into a space where people not only came for a refreshing drink, but also for a chance to be part of something larger than themselves. As the stand grew, it became a gathering spot for locals to share stories, encourage Bella, and even contribute to her success. It wasn't just about selling lemonade, it was about creating a sense of belonging. People connected over their shared love of supporting a young girl with a dream, and in return, Bella gave them more than just a cup of lemonade. She gave them hope, inspiration, and a reminder that when we lift others up, we all rise together. Bella's story is a reminder that kindness and community support can turn the smallest of ideas into something extraordinary. What started as a simple summer venture grew into a beacon of positivity, proving that a little help and encouragement can go a long way in making a difference. If you're inspired by Bella's journey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories of community, kindness, and perseverance. Also, click on the next video on your screen. You're sure to enjoy